Hey, Gopher fans, it's Mike Grimm from Gopher Radio and Gophersports.com. It's another edition of Gopher Talk. We're thrilled to have you back with us here online on Zoom. Our conference is presented by Affinity Plus, committed to the safety of their members, their employees, and their communities during this time. You can learn more at affinityplus.org. We have Jack Manderscheid, a fifth-year senior to be for this coming fall. He is on the Gopher men's track and field team and cross-country team. And Jack, first of all, thanks for joining us. We're going to have some fun here talking track and field, cross-country, and maybe a few other things. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. I appreciate you having me on.
So you are from Edina, Minnesota, so you stayed home to take part in Big Ten athletics and track and field and cross country. Take me through the decision to be a Golden Gopher when you go all the way back to your high school days and when that decision time came.
Yeah, I love Minnesota and I love representing my state still, even in college. So that was a big decision when I went from Edina to the U of M.
What was that process like, and has it met your expectation in terms of being able to, compete at the high level in the Big Ten? I know you've been involved in obviously Big Ten championship meets and been able to travel around the country with the Gophers at a lot of cool venues.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have ever imagined how much fun I'd be having in college. And my coach and everything has just made this decision really easy, and looking back, I wouldn't really change anything. In terms of academics and athletics, the U of M kind of has it all.
What is a day now like for you? I suppose it has been a little different with the pandemic, although you have the benefit. You can go and social distance and run and train for your sport, where maybe some of your classmates who are hockey players or basketball players, I mean, there was a time where the gyms and the rinks were shut down. And if worse comes to worse, I suppose you can jump on an elliptical or a treadmill in your case. So what's it like now as you're hopefully gearing up for what will be a cross-country season here in the fall in terms of what your week looks like training-wise?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, actually, I'm kind of a little late to my summer training compared to my teammates. I was kind of battling some patellar tendon injury earlier this summer, and I'm finally back to running most days of the week. So I'm really happy. Whether we have a season or not, to really, get out there my last year and prove, we got what it takes to compete in the Big Ten.
Rewind now back to the spring, as you guys, I think that was about the time you're transitioning from indoor to outdoor, and then, the health scare hits and it turns from a scare to a pandemic, and all of a sudden it's distant learning. Everything athletically is canceled. What was that time like? And as someone who takes academics as seriously as you, how was the distance learning for you to finish up the semester?
I thought distance learning, it was definitely something to get used to. I have to applaud my professors for really making that transition really smooth. Still hosting office hours pretty frequently, just because, even when people have questions and stuff. And in terms of running, I know a few of my roommates and teammates had to miss out on the indoor national championships, which is a huge bummer. But, in terms of training for the spring, we kind of just, ramped up the miles, had some time trials and still kind of put our bodies, through some training to see what we could kind of manage in terms of fitness. And the semester ended up pretty well for me in terms of grades and everything. I was pretty content with that.
And for you, that mix you mentioned earlier in one of your early answers, the mix between athletics and academics at the University of Minnesota provides. And you're a mechanical engineering major. As we mentioned, you're entering your fifth year. So kind of take us through what is mechanical engineering, and what does the future for Jack Manderscheid hold from that standpoint?
So, yeah, I really love mechanical engineering. It's such a flexible major, in my opinion. You can go into systems, controls, robotics. It's a lot of hands-on if you want. It's a lot of programming if you want. There's kind of something for everyone. And I'm really glad I chose that as a major.
Very good. And you, you know, the curriculum, obviously, the class load, this is not an easy, hey, let's get you through major. There's a lot of time commitment, I know. And between your injury and the pandemic and everything else, the rumor around campus is that you did already put some of your knowledge to use, and you've already invented or at least built a coffee roaster. Is that right? You're a coffee drinker, and you decided that I'm gonna put this to use.
Yeah, so I'd say this year my whole apartment has been on kind of a coffee kick, and you know, especially not having a job this summer, it was really appealing to try to make some coffee for cheap. And so I did a little research, and there was different types of roasters I could make, and one that I kind of decided on that was pretty interesting is called a fluid bed roaster, and it uses very hot air to kind of like agitate the beans and roast them. And so, you know, I spent a few weeks designing and getting a bill of materials, and then I built it. It took probably a few weeks, and then I bought some wholesale green beans, and I started roasting them.
So you're making your own coffee from scratch, so to speak. Do you have the coffee roaster? Is it near where you can we see it? Are you close to it?
Yeah. So this is kind of our workshop here. I got my roommate's senior design project that I just finished. And let's see if I can. This right here is the roaster. Yeah. So I have a computer, a microcontroller, a solid state relay, and then I have a leaf blower, and then I have a heating element in this chamber here, and then this is where my beans go, right here in this little column.
I'm glad you said there was a leaf blower there, because I was about to say it looks like I could blow my driveway with that thing, and maybe that was by design, because that's what can kick the hot air. Is that part of the design there?
Yeah, and so if you want a lot of beans to be roasted, you're going to have a lot of back pressure, so you can't use just like a normal air pump. So, you know, I was on Craigslist and I found an old leaf blower for $15 that plugs into the wall. And there you go.
That's it, huh? Wow. So, so you buy, and then you can pick out what kind of beans you want. Is that? I'm not a coffee drinker. People are going to be like, "Do you know nothing about coffee?" And my answer is, I do know very little about coffee. So, you just buy whatever beans you want that might fit your needs, and then roast them, and then put those in, grind it into a coffee machine. Is that how it works?
Yep, exactly. And so, yeah, buying unroasted coffee beans is pretty practical financially if you have the means to roast them. Normally, you know, you go buy a bag of beans roasted from Starbucks, you're paying $15 to $20. And you can buy unroasted beans for $3 to $5 a pound. So if you can make them yourself, you can save a lot of money, which is cool.
Are you making a little side income from your roommates, upcharging them a little bit for the coffee they're drinking?
Not at the moment. My roasting process is definitely needs some improvement in terms of the evenness of the roast, and so I'm trying to improve that. I'm ordering some parts, but I'd say before I try to sell anything, let's try to make the coffee a little better, maybe up to standard of Starbucks, and those they definitely know what they're doing.
Well, very good, Jack. We appreciate it. Appreciate the tour, one, of your place, and two, taking a look at that coffee roaster was awesome. And as you continue to get the art of brewing that coffee and roasting those beans perfected, I think you got a future there, and maybe making a little side dough from your roommates there at some point.
Cool to do something part-time, and I have a video of it in action, so I might have to send that to you later.
Yeah, for sure. Let's take a look. No doubt. That'd be great. Well, at a minimum, we hope to see you soon on campus and get these sports seasons going here in the coming fall. But enjoy the rest of your summer, and we'll look forward to seeing you on campus soon.
Thank you for this interview.
Yeah, it was fun indeed. Jack Manderscheid from Edina, Minnesota. He's been our guest here on Gopher Talk. It's sponsored by AffinityPlus.org. So long, Gopher fans.